Hey everyone, it's Nelson Miller here with PA Creative. Welcome to the overview video on how to use the Events Carousel module in the Divi Events Calendar. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to add the module to your layout, talk about the settings and features that it has, and show you some tips on how to use it. And as you set up and use this module, I do recommend that you reference our document that has all of the settings and features of this module. And of course, be sure to check out the demos, which we'll also show you in this video. All right, so we can add the Events Carousel module to our layout by going to Add New and then type in Events, or just start typing EV, something like that. Here you can see the modules that are currently available in our plugin, and you can see Events Carousel. So just go ahead and click on that. Now the Events Carousel module is very similar to our Events Feed module. The Events Feed was our very first one that we had. And so basically now that that is a mature plugin, we have that to a level where it just has, just an amazing amount of features and settings. We copied it and then added settings that relate to a carousel. And so obviously like the arrows and the dots and just, the speed and timing and all of that. So we've added that and we'll talk about that. But basically, if you want, you could go back and look over the Events Feed module, and that'll, cover some of these items a little bit better. We're focusing a little more on the Events Carousel features, but we're also going to show everything. So starting out in the Content tab, we have Dynamic Event Content. Again, you can use this for like a category template page. I don't think that I would, but it's an option if you would want to. I'd rather use the events feed for that. And then you have the events count. So how many events that you want to show in this slider here. You can see a dot that represents each one. So if I would change this to 5, for example, you'll see that, there's less dots here. And then of course, it'll only show those. Keep looping those. And then you can choose a category. So let's say we only wanted to show events in the music category. Then you could do that and it would filter them down by that. Here's date and time format. And again, these are actually overrides if you want them. They're very unnecessary. If you want to have fine tuning and have your date and time format set differently than your website and differently than the Events Calendar plugin, then you can do that. But that's the only time you would need to do that. And then we have excerpt length. So this sets the length of how many characters are in the excerpt shown here. Then the offset number. This would be like if you want to feature, show featured events in a carousel here, and then underneath you would have to choose the number. Like if I had 5 events here and then added another, carousel or another module or something, I would, I'd want to put number 5 here to represent that we're skipping those first 5. Okay, and then showing past events. If you wanted to have this would only show the ones that have already passed. And right now I think it's only one in my particular demo here, but you could make an archive and you could use a carousel on your archive of past events. Now under elements, here you can just basically show and hide everything, like every part that you're seeing here, the title, the date, the button, things like that. So basically just go down through here and decide which things that you are wanting. Basically it's up to you. You can just turn these on and off. See, just like that, it shows or hides that. You can stack event details, and this is a new feature. So if we stack event details like that, you actually get the options to choose labels or icons. So that's really cool. And then we have carousel options. Now, these obviously are what makes it different than the events feed module. So here you can see show navigation arrows. I don't know why you'd want that off. Some people would prefer just to have these dots. And then if you turn them off, you'll just have to sit here and watch it. Then there is mouse drag. So I could drag it actually, and touch drag. That's for mobile. But there you go. You can have some control over that. The more info button is just, if you want to customize this, like what would I want to say, like view event or something like that. Yeah, there we go. And then the design tab is just It's similar to the events feed again, but you have layout. You can choose your number of columns here. And it starts to not look the best when you start getting into that, but I would keep it at something like that. And then you can choose basically left and right and top alignment for the image and details. It's a nice looking layout there. And then you can go ahead and set anything related to the individual events. So right now I have this border is coming through. I have it styled as a default on this demo. That's why you're seeing this border and these collars. You'll have to add them and you'll see as we go. But like right here, if I change that, see that border collar? Okay, and then you have all the settings related to that, to the individual events. All right, so you could even change the background color if you wanted the events to be like that. Really, it's up to you. Just showing you what all is possible. Then the image, this controls the featured image here. You could set a rounded corner like that. Looks nice. You could add a border. You could add a border like this. Whatever you want to do there. You could add a box shadow. It looks ugly, but hey, it's possible. Here's carousel, and so that's basically the items related to the carousel. So right now the navigation background color you can see is right there. I can change that. It was already set, but there you go. It's showing that live. Then the navigation font size, that's basically the icon size. I probably could rename that, but basically that's the size. Like if I go, let's just show you if I go like really low, you'll understand here. See that? See how it changes the size of that arrow? We made it fairly big by default. I just like it big. And then the arrow collar, depending on what you had for the background, you'd want to change that, of course. So a lot of control here in this events carousel. The dot navigation, that's just like all of them, and then the one that's active. See that? So it's kind of cool. Autoplay, whether you want it to keep playing, or just wait until you click it. And then the autoplay speed, you can adjust that. It's in milliseconds, and you can open all of these help texts to see that. Continue autoplay on hover. It's just all these different things. Here's the navigation rounded corner, so that's why it's in a circle. If I wanted this to be square, I could do that. See that? So that looks nice too. All right, and then the other things are just like title text. Right here, the styles for controlling the title text. It's really, it's really what you're familiar with if you've used any Divi module. Details text is controlling the styling of all of this. The excerpt text here as well. So, and then the more info button is, styling the, right now it's the view events button, but basically all the styles. Here's that blue collar. There you can see it being changed. So yeah, this is pretty much it for this module. And then these other things relate to the overall module, the sizing, spacing, and border. And you can check out our demos here over on our demo site. That's linked in the documentation there. Basically, I show each one of these layouts with extra styling, so you can have a nice look at it. Different column layouts like that. Maybe you want it to be image top, details bottom. So, and I still think that looks really nice. I really like this. And of course, you can actually download these styles. I have them available now as free layouts, so you can get these exact styles. I know it's not going to look like this by default, but you can get these exact styles by going to our documentation about that. That's over here under free bonus demo layouts. And then the other page I wanted to point out, of course, was the modules and settings. So you can go here, and this acts as like a change log. You can see when we change this to, like if we add a new feature in 2.1 or something, we'll have it upcoming features be this pink maroon color, and then the current features will be green. So we just released this. I need to change my colors and show that this is released. So I hope this was helpful. Obviously, we have lots of guides here. We're continually updating these guides, so definitely check those out. The answer to a lot of questions are there. So check those out. And of course, if you need anything, you can just let us know and we'll be happy to help.